Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification if you want to be notified. What is going on? Saturday night, we saw Gervonta Tank Davis take on Hector Luis Garcia. We saw Jerron Boost Ennis in there with a dude named Karen. You saw Demetrius Andrade. You saw Brandon Lee, Vito Malinecki. I mean, plenty of names. Rashidi Ellis, you know, and obviously the highlight of that night was gonna be the Gervonta Tank Davis fight, but you also had a good undercard. Whereas people felt that, these fights was gonna be really good fights, and for the most part, they were. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Vito Malinecki getting the job done against dude he fought, and Brandon Lee also getting the job done. Now, when it got to the Rashidi Ellis uh, Villa fight, Romain Villa, it got a little bit hectic. The announcers were kind of saying, "Yo, this guy's he's a good fighter." I seen him on Showbox on Wednesday nights, against my man Jason Bocachica, and he gave Jason Bocachica work, and the man is the truth. You know what I'm saying? Villa came out there, he did what he was supposed to do, and you know, cut in close too. Cut it very close, because that fight right there, if he wouldn't have dropped Ellis, it would have, obviously favored Ellis. You know what I'm saying? But Rashidi Ellis thought he put in the work, you know what I mean, in those beginning rounds. But I think towards the end, towards that second half of the fight, he started slowing down. And I think that's where Romain Villa started capitalizing on. And especially when power goes last, I picked Romain Villa. I had one ticket that said Rashidi Ellis outright winner, because I thought they would favor him in the decision. But I also put Romain Villa for knockout, because that's the only chance I was really giving Romain Villa. Now, the decision was a very close one, majority decision, and a well-deserved decision. I feel like he won 3 rounds in that second half of the fight, and then the knockdowns, the 2 knockdowns at the end, which put him over, what I'm saying, to get that majority decision, which was a good judging card, you know what I'm saying. Demetrius Andrade also fought, he fought Damon Nicholson, a local, a guy that we seen in there with Edgar Berlanga. And, you know, Demetrius Andrade, I felt like he could have got him out of there. You know what I'm saying? I really felt like he could have got Damon Nicholson out, but it was a tough fight for him, tougher than I would have thought, right? Because Damon Nicholson dropped Demetrius Andrade, right? Even though the ref didn't the ref didn't count it, but he still dropped them. Okay, that body shot, that body work, that left hook to the body is what caught Demetrius Andrade and made him fall back. You know what I'm saying? So I was a little surprised when I say I was a little surprised, because it Demetrius Andrade is he got a little careless there. You know what I'm saying? And one thing that we say, people do give credit to Demetrius Andrade is his defense, right? His defense is what makes him a little bit challenging, if you would say. But I think that a guy like Damon Nicholson really pointed out that he's kind of weak to the body. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of weak to the body. And if he gets in there against a guy like Canelo Alvarez that throws body shots and he's lethal with body shots, he's going to get hurt. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be hurt. And it's going to be a long night for him. But I would be interested in that. I think that, to be honest, I think Canelo Alvarez should fight Demetrius Andrade as a tune-up. I think that that's what really he is. I think that Demetrius Andrade is a tune-up for Canelo Alvarez. I'm sure he wouldn't come in as careless as he came in for the Damon Nicholson fight. In the beginning, he started off very fast, very, very fast. And I thought he was going to go in there and stun and get a knockout victory, right? But that just was not the case. Damon Nicholson was just not going nowhere. Even when you saw Damon Nicholson's eye being a factor inside of the fight, Demetrius Andrade just didn't go for the kill, or maybe he did. right? Or maybe Demetrius Andrade did go for the kill and just couldn't get him out of there. And that speaks volumes, right? Because if you're susceptible to the body and you have no power, how are you going to keep a guy off like Canelo Alvarez? I just don't see it. I think that he's a tune-up, and I think that that should be Canelo Alvarez's next fight, May 5th. Make it a big event. A lot of people want to see Demetrius Andrade in there, um, you know, maybe for different reasons, maybe just for to see him get paid or something. But I think that he is a tune-up for a guy like Canelo Alvarez. I don't think that he's gonna pose any trouble to a guy like Canelo Alvarez, especially once he's seen you got hit to the body, you went down, and you just get careless in there, right? And obviously you don't have no power to be able to uh, get nobody out of there. So we'll see though. We'll see. I think, like I said, that is a good tune-up. Instead of a John Ryder fight, yes, we understand John Ryder has fought all of those guys at 168. He's fought from Billy Joe to Callum Smith to all of those guys. Yes, I understand that, but he's lost to all of those guys as well, right? Demetrius Andrade is undefeated. He just moved up to 168, and I think he's a perfect tune-up for Canelo Alvarez, and I think that that's the fight that he should be making next. And then after that, we saw the fight with, of course, the co-main event, which was Jerron Boots Ennis in there with Karen. And let's be honest and let's be very clear. It was the same fight. It was the same. The dude had the same lateral movement as Sandor Martin, like Teofimo Lopez's fight. It was about the same. I give it the same. You know what I'm saying? It was the same performance. Jerron Boots Ennis just was not cutting off the ring effectively. He wasn't really doing much. You know what I'm saying? Karen just didn't throw enough punches. He really didn't do anything. You know what I mean? But he did pose trouble to Jerron Boots Ennis. And I think that there's just something that him and T.O., which they're still young fighters. You gotta understand that those are still young fighters that are still trying to find an identity inside of the sport. And you have to give them time for growth, right? So the lateral movement does affect both of those guys. You know what I'm saying? It's just gonna happen, right? So it's just up to them if they're gonna go back into the gym and work on that. Obviously both fighters won, you know what I'm saying? So they got away with it. But with guys like Move and they have elite jabs, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a little bit more tricky for them in the long run, right? So I think that both guys are still growing. They're still trying to get trying to find that identity inside of that ring and become better. You know what I'm saying? As long as they're trying to become better, they can become better. You know what I'm saying? Because it's about how you working on your skill set. So I don't put nothing on Boots Ennis. Yes, we understand. Nobody knew who this guy Karen was. Nobody knew about him. Nobody probably ever seen a fight from this guy. Nobody's seen anything from this guy, right? So I think in that aspect, yes, fans are a little like, well, is Boots really that killer? You know what I'm saying? Well, is Boots really that guy? And I think that, it's just like he's not. Something just was not right. Something didn't go right for him that night, right? And him trying to get the knockout and this and that. You know what I'm saying? And after the fight, he said things like what T.O. said. He kept running. You know what I'm saying? When he didn't come to fight. You know what I'm saying? The dude didn't come to fight. It is what it is, right? But like with Sandor Martin, yeah, I mean, dog, you still have to be able to cut off the ring. You know what I'm saying? You still won't have to be able to cut off the ring. Yeah, the dude wasn't there to fight tonight, but you also didn't show enough either, right? We've seen this with Mark Garcia against Gary Russell. You know what I'm saying? The same thing. With Casemiro versus Guillermo Rigondeaux, same thing. You know what I'm saying? Not being able to cut off the ring, it's starting to become, a little bit. It's something that fighters need to start working on, right? Cutting off the ring. It's simple as that. We've seen multiple fights last year, and now this year, where guys just don't know how to cut off the ring, and that's troubling them. And the judges are, you know what I'm saying? It just depends on whatever judge you're seeing. I mean, it's seeing it, right? Some guys favor the guys that's running. Some guys favor the guys that are having that effective pressure. Simple as that. But Boots Ennis, I mean, I think he'll be all right. You know, I think that he'll be all right. He needs to step up his competition as soon as possible. He went 12 rounds with this guy named Karen. Um, which, like I said, I'm not gonna put too much value into that, because at the end of the day, you got to get those rounds in, and now you know what you're lacking in, right? So now Boots Ennis does know. Second fight, next fight, let's say he fights somebody that has that lateral movement and is very tough and is moving around, and he can't catch him and he can't hit him, or he's you know what I'm saying? That's when you're gonna have to start questioning Boots Ennis. But for right now, I don't think so, right? I think that we've seen the full package of his power. I think we've seen the full package of his like footwork, his skill set. But I think that this is a new aspect of it, right? We've seen, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't know how to cut off the ring. You know what I mean? And that's something new. Now, can he go back correct it? Probably. You know what I'm saying? Probably. If he's dedicated enough, he could get that done. You know what I'm saying? It's just about learning how to, right? Not following, not chasing your opponent, cutting it off effectively. And I think that he's still gonna be a good 147 pounder. You know what I'm saying? I think that people were just hyped, of course, because he was knocking dudes out. He was laying them out. You know what I'm saying? And that's exciting. And you can't blame the fan for feeling that way. You know what I'm saying? But I think that it's calmed a lot of fans down now. Like, oh, well, yeah, he is human. You know what I'm saying? He is human. He can be touched. Oh, this and that. Yeah, he can be. You know what I'm saying? So it's simple as that. Then you have the Gervonta Tank Davis versus Hector Garcia fight, which I thought, I thought Hector Garcia was actually going to last longer. I thought he was going to maybe get a decision, maybe last to the 11th, you know what I'm saying? But this starting to become something, it's starting to become, a problem for Tank Davis. These guys are really touching Tank Davis up. You know what I'm saying? They're really touching him up a lot. And Tank Davis is a good fighter, you know what I'm saying? But, and that power is phenomenal. I mean, that power is the truth. You just can't sit there and say he has no power, this and that, because he is dangerous all 12 rounds. Let's be very clear about that. The guy that went 12 rounds with him, like Isaac Cruz, these motherfuckers have chins of steel. Simple as that. Chins of steel. But this dude is the hands of bricks for real. This dude got bricks in his hands, bro. This dude has bricks in his hand, bro. He catches Hector Garcia with him after I believe it was a left hook, mean left hook at the top of the temple of his head. And this dude said, I could not see. I could not see. What? How crazy is that? Right? How crazy is that? Gervonta Tank Davis is a huge power puncher. Gervonta Tank Davis hits dude on top of his temple, and the dude said, Mama, Mama. He said, I'm not coming back out to his motherfucking corner. He said, fuck that. I'm not coming back out. You could kiss my ass. Shit. Coach was like, you got to go back out there. Fuck that. I ain't going back out there. That's exactly what he said. Fuck that shit. He said, no mas. That's it, man. I quit. Fuck that. Yo, right after the fight, he's like, yeah, I recovered my vision. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I think really happened? I think that he got scared. I think that he got scared of what happened, right? He really didn't understand what shot he got hit with. I think that that's what happened. He got scared. His mind played a trick on him, right? He felt that punch, and after that, he just couldn't see, and he probably got scared as shit. He said, nah, I can't do this. And, he obviously went back to the corner and told his corner, yo, that's it. I can't do it. And rightfully so, man, because look, think about this shit. Crazy thing is, this dude was going to lose on the scorecards. Well, up until that point, they had Gervonta Tank Davis. I believe it was 78-73, some shit like that. They were taking that fight and literally weren't watching it. They just said, "Fuck it, we already know who's gonna win." Like literally, that's what they said before they got in there. That was crazy. I looked at the scorecard. Not even one scorecard favored fucking Hector Garcia. And up until that point, Hector Ruiz Garcia was winning that fight. I don't care what nobody says. And this is just getting ridiculous. It's getting bad. It's getting bad in the sport of boxing. Uh, it's getting is horrendous. Horrendous. The judging is starting to be a little bit problematic, man, because they're just not seeing it, right? They're just not seeing it. Now, people will make the argument, well, they're there and you're at home or you're watching from a television so you can see a little bit better. You got the better angles, you got better this, the ropes are fucking on the judge's eyes. Yeah, but it's the problem is that you can't have Stevie Wonder out there fucking judging a fight, bro. He's blind. He's blind. How the hell is he gonna judge a fight? How can he judge a fight? Stevie Wonder. That was who the judge was on Saturday night. What fight are you watching, bro? What fight are you watching? Garcia had all the momentum. He had, man, the only thing he wasn't doing was pushing Tank back. That's the only thing he was not doing. But he was countering Tank off of everything. He was giving Gervonta Tank Davis work. You know what I'm saying? Yo, that was a little fucking, you know what I'm saying? It was It was like, what? It's like, dog, you can't see? I quit. No mas. Nah, man. That shit was crazy. But at the end of the day, he's the fighter. So if he got scared, he got scared. What more can you do? Once you get scared, it's no point in you coming back out there. You know what I'm saying? The fight is over by that time. You know what I mean? Fight is over. You get scared. Now you playing the cautious game. You playing the safety game, and that's when you're gonna get caught with something big. That's when you're gonna get caught with you not looking. That's when you're gonna get caught. Your mind is playing tricks and playing games on you. You know what I'm saying? So you're like, oh shit, oh this, that. Overthinking when you're not supposed to be thinking at all. You're just supposed to be doing what you have to do. You know what I'm saying? And that was the problem, I feel like, with Hector Garcia. You know what I'm saying? And I thought he was fighting a good fight. I thought he was on the verge. If he could have fucking stayed, if he could have, you know what I'm saying, stayed away from the biggest hit, he could have won that fight. But the judges were like, hell nah, he wasn't winning that fight. You know what I'm saying? It would have been another Isaac Cruz type of fight, you know what I'm saying, with the judges. Uh, it's just becoming horrendous. It's becoming horrendous in the sport of boxing because there's no way, bro. I have two good eyes. You know what I'm saying? The guys that they're bringing in there, they 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 mimic Stevie Wonder. They're fucking blind. You know what I'm saying? I could do a better job, man. They should hire me. They should hire me. I got two good eyes, 20/20 vision. You know what I'm saying? They should hire me to become a judge because a lot of these scorecards are just fucking biased as shit. They don't fucking, they're trash. You know what I'm saying? Best thing is that like literally, if you fight Gervonta Tank Davis, you better be ready to knock him out. That's it. Because if you can't knock him out, bruh, and you go to the scorecards, that it is what it is. Thank God for Hector Garcia that he got knocked out, to be honest, that he didn't come back out because he would have got robbed. He would have got robbed. It was going to be simple as that. Fight was going into the ninth. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like Garcia, he had a pretty comfortable lead on Tank, right? Maybe win 2-3 rounds more. I mean, 2-3 rounds. Yeah, 2-3 rounds more. He wins the fight. Not to the judges, though. Not that 78-73. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? He ain't have that chance. You know what I mean? So the only way he had a chance that night was for a knockout. And that obviously didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? I thought he did a pretty good job up until he said no mas. Up until he said no mas. I think he did a pretty good job. I thought he put in really good, solid work on Gervonta Tank Davis. I thought he was doing a really good job. You know what I'm saying? And Gervonta Tank Davis, I think that he's getting worse and worse in each fight, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's getting them out of there, he's doing his thing, he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. But I think he's getting a little bit worse and worse, right? Because he's getting hit with more shots each and every time, right? And he's not moving up in competition, right? It's those guys that are moving up in competition. If you think about it, Isaac Cruz moved up in competition. You know what I'm saying? Hector Garcia moved up in competition. You know what I mean? Mario Barrios moved up in competition. They're moving up in competition. Not him. He's just staying stagnant, fighting, you know what I'm saying? Guys that's coming up from 130. You know what I mean? Guys coming up from 130. Uh Shit like that. You know what I'm saying? He's not the one that is actually going out there and getting those fights. Now Hector Garcia, they're gonna PBC's gonna push him like they're trying to do with Isaac Cruz. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna try to push so that the fans they get fans are dumb. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you feed them, they're gonna take, right? Now Isaac Cruz, a lot of fans see him as a fucking dog, an animal, this and that. Nah, man. Nah. It's bullshit. It's a facade. That's what that is. It's a facade. You know what I'm saying? It's BS to the fullest. A facade, right? Isaac Cruz never fought nobody really before he fought uh Gervonta Tank Davis. You know what I'm saying? He was stepping up in competition and he put in work. And arguably that fight was a draw. You know what I'm saying? Some people saw Isaac Cruz. A lot of people saw the draw though, right? Tank just did not win that fight. You know what I'm saying? He just did not win that fight. Simple as that. You know? So, but in the history books, it's not gonna tell you, oh, this fight was this close and this and that. No, it's not gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? It's just gonna say that Gervonta Tank Davis was the victorious. Simple as that. That's all it's gonna say. You know what I'm saying? And then you're gonna start seeing Isaac Cruz just fighting other people, and then he's headlining now. And oh my God, yeah, y'all remember when Isaac Cruz? Isaac Cruz was a dog. Isaac Cruz was a dog. This and that. Isaac Cruz, yeah, he fought everybody. This and that. Man, he ain't done shit. He ain't done shit. He fought Gervonta Tank Davis. Yeah, he lost that fight. Da, 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 da. Sounds stupid as shit. That motherfucker, he ain't done shit. You know what I'm saying? Hector Garcia, next one. They gonna push the shit out of him. Y'all see. I don't know if they're gonna push the shit out of him, to be honest. Because Dominican fighters don't really have the biggest fan base. So they might not push the shit out of him, but Isaac Cruz, hell yeah, they trying to tap into that Mexican market. Fuck yeah. They can get this dude. Yeah, he lost the Tank, but you know what I'm saying? They can still fucking, you know, push him up there so that they can get viewerships, this and that. Yeah, it's not happening though, bro. I think that a lot of people they peeping the game. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are peeping game, but a lot of people are stupid as well. You know what I mean? So you pick your poison, whatever you feel like. You know what I'm saying? But for that Isaac Cruz fight, yes, Isaac Cruz was stepping up into competition. He was fighting Gervonta St. Davis. I felt like the fight was a draw. It was a good draw, and I wanted a rematch to that fight. That's why Gervonta Tank Davis wanted no parts of Isaac Cruz right after that. He said a rematch? Nah. He said, nah, fuck that shit. No rematch. Yeah, it wasn't gonna be no rematch, bro. If it's too hard, then why would you go and try twice? What are you trying to lose? You know what I'm saying? Why would you ever do it? Put yourself in that position. He wasn't trying to lose that fight. You know what I'm saying? Then he goes by Rody, you know. And I think Rody, honestly, to be honest, I think Rody was the biggest step up fight that he's had. To be honest, let's be very clear about this. I'm saying this right now. I think Rody was the biggest step up fight that Gervonta Tank Davis had. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest fight that Gervonta Tank Davis has had that he stepped up in competition, I feel like. And the reason why is because he had disadvantages in that fight. Okay? He had huge disadvantages in that fight, right? Rolando Romero, strong, bigger. You know what I'm saying? Now, questionably is, obviously he wasn't a fighter all his life and this and that, you know what I'm saying? But I felt like within strength, you know what I'm saying, he showed that even though the dude is bigger, he still had the power. He still had the mental capacity to be able to overcome that those attributes that the Rolando Romero had. You know what I'm saying? I felt like that was his best fight. That was the fight that he actually showed me the most in, right? Yes, arguably all of those other fighters he's fought might be better than Rolando Romero, but I just feel like, honestly, I think that Rolando Romero, just as a physical attributes, um, shit like that, and his skills, and his power, and his strength, and shit like that, I think that that's what made me feel like, okay, Gervonta Tank Davis, he might have something against these dudes, man. He might have something. You know what I'm saying? Because arguably, yeah, you could say Hector Garcia, he was a champion at 130. You know what I'm saying? Rolando Romero's never been a champion. You know what I mean? Leo Santa Cruz, he was a champion. Mario Barrios was a regular champion. Isaac Cruz was just a guy coming up. You know what I mean? Just a tune-up type of fight. It's supposed to be a tune-up type of fight. Arguably, and Rolando Romero was the guy that was, people were saying that he robbed Martinez, and people were saying that he was just a wild ass fighter. He was crazy, but I think that that's the fight that Gervonta Tank Davis showed the most inside of boxing. I feel like every other fight was trash because of the fact that he really didn't have to show too much. All he had to really do is knock the dude out. You know what I'm saying? And I think that he overcame a lot more with the Rolando Romero fight. Now, Ryan Garcia, I don't know. I don't know. That's gonna be a tough fight for him. I'm not gonna sit here and cap and be like, oh yeah, nah, like these dudes that just fucking they just go on and say, oh yeah, Ryan Garcia ain't shit because they don't like his social media. You know what I mean? Oh, Ryan Garcia ain't this because of his social media or because of Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? I think that Ryan Garcia is in the gym and he's working. And if he's not, he's a dumbass. Simple as that. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification if you want to be notified. Follow me on Instagram at P4P Boxing Real News, and we out. Peace.